Let us learn about the data types available in C++ language. Already in the previous video, I have given you the reason or the idea why we need data types. Every language supports data type. Without data type, there is no use of writing the programs. So let us learn what are the data types. Then also we will learn how to use them. Means how to use them by declaring the variables. So let us get the overview of all the data types available in C++. See, I have a chart here that is showing the data types. Then in this, they can be categorized into three. Now majorly you have to understand this one, this portion. Data types are called as primitive data types. Primitive means in-house, living, right? The one which are living inside C++. So that are directly provided by compiler. So primitive data types are basic data types of C++. They are of three types. That is categorization again. Integral type. Integral means there is no decimal point. Yeah. Boolean means true or false. Next, floating point with a decimal. Decimal is also called as floating point. So this is the broader categorization. Under integral, we have int and char. Character is integral. I will show you what does it mean. Integer and character comes under integral. Means they will not have a decimal point. Yes. Then floating point. There are two, float and double. They are similar only. Just some differences are there. We will learn about it. So before going into details of this, let us have a look at these also. User defined data types are available. First one is enum, enumeration, that you will find in this section only, right? And structure and union, these are another one. And classes, that's what the C++ is for. C++ supports object orientation. So actual C++ concepts and the programming starts from classes. We will learn a lot of things are there to learn about it. Then at last, arrays, pointers and references. We have these as a separate topics in some sections, so you can check that. These are the detailed lengthy topics. So these all the things are bigger topics. We have a section for each. Now in this video, you have to learn these things, data types, and remember now only. That is very important, right? Because every time we'll be using them. So you should be able to recall what does it mean. So here itself you should learn them. Let us see what are the data types. So for those data types, we have to know few things. And among these things, you must remember few things. I'll highlight what are the things that you should remember. Let us look at the table. Data types are integer, float, double, character and boolean. And these are their sizes. Sizes means how many bytes of memory they takes. Like in the previous video, I said that if you take only 1 byte, then we can store a small size number. If you want to store bigger number, then what? So that's what, depending on the number that you can store, that's what every data type has some number of bytes. So this we will learn in detail. That is 2 bytes it takes, and this takes 4 bytes, and this take 8 bytes, and this take 1 byte. It is undefined. It can be 1 byte or less. Now in each data type, depending on the capacity, means its size, there is a possible range of values that you can store. So their values are also given. So you can note down this one, right? You can note down this. And out of this, you must remember the range of values for this one and this one. Integer, that is, I'll read out, -32768 to 32767. Negative, positive. So it supports both positive and negative numbers. Then for character, -128 to 127. This you should remember always. Next, about float and double, if you can remember, it's well and good, otherwise not a problem. For float, I will read out -3.4 into 10 to the power of -38, and positive one is 3.4 into 10 to the power of 38. Now, double is -1.7 into 308, and this is 308, 1.7. So how to remember them is, see, double is 1.7. Number is 1.7. So if you can remember, this is sufficient. Now, for float, double that at 1.7, it becomes 3.4. So it is 3.4. Right? How to remember the values I am showing you. How to remember the value. Then this is 38. So this is 308. So this way you can remember this one if you at all you want to remember. Now let us talk about integer. See, integer may take either 2 bytes or 4 bytes depending on the version of compiler you are using. Most of the compilers now take 4 bytes only. If you are using Turbo C Turbo C, if you know about it and you are using it, then it takes 2 bytes. Turbo C takes 2 bytes because it opens in DOS box, it goes into DOS shell and run there. So there it takes 2 bytes. Otherwise integer takes 4 bytes. But in my discussion, every time I will be saying integer 2 bytes, because when I have to show some calculation and solve, so 2 bytes will be easy for me for explanation. Otherwise taking a bigger size data will be difficult for explanation. So I will assume integer takes 2 bytes every time. Now let us understand how this integer is getting this range, and this range is for 2 bytes, not for 4 bytes. Let us see how it is taking -32768 to 32767. Let us look at this. It is taking 2 bytes. So 2 bytes means total how many bits? 16 bits. So I'll just draw this first. So here I have 2 bytes. This is first byte, this is the second byte. Total 16 bits are there. 16 bits together, 2 bytes together works as a single variable, single data, that is integer. So how the 16 bits are used? One of the bit, this is called as most significant bit, and this is called as least significant bit. So this bit is reserved for sign bit. If that is 1 means number is negative. If that is 0 means number is positive. Then how many bits are remaining for writing a number? Only 15 bits, 0 to 14. So 2 power 15 is 32768. This is how it is, 32768, and that is up to 32767. So that's why the number is stored only in 15 bits. It has to support sign also, positive and negative also. That is the reason 1 bit is reserved. Remaining bits are used for storing a number. So this is common for all the languages, not just C++. It is true for C also, and even is true for Java also. It happens similarly in Java also, if 2 bytes are used anywhere. So 2 bytes, if a number is stored in 2 bytes, this is the largest number that we can store. Now I will write on the range 03277. If I take the range of this number, it will not be starting from 1, right? It will be starting from 0. So it is 0 to 32767. That's why it is 7. Now next, this has to be in a positive also, negative also. So let me write down this. So 0 to 32767, this is positive side. Then 0 to 32767, it is negative side. So this is positive side, this is negative side. In this is negative, means negative 0 will also be there. But negative 0 is not a number. So that's why that negative 0 is taken as -32768. It is assumed as -32768. It happens automatically in binary number form. If the number is negative and largest, then it will be -32768 to 32767. That is the reason we have one number extra here, because that -0 is taken as -32768. That's how it is getting this range. Now this is sufficient for understanding about integer. Now let us come to character. How come character is taking numbers -128 to 127 and it is taking 1 byte? I'll explain you about it. So character takes 1 byte. So in 1 byte, 1 bit is reserved as sign bit. Now remaining how many bits are there? 0 to 6. Total 7 bits are. 2 power 7 is 128. 128 means 0 to 127. Now positive as well as negative. So negative 127, negative 0 will also be there. That is the reason -128 to 127. This is the range of character. Now let us coming to the point. How come a character is a number? See, computer works on binary number system, that is zeros and ones. They understand only zeros and ones, nothing else, right? Then how to represent a character? Character should also be represented in zeros and ones. And those zeros and ones, we understand them as decimal number system. We understand them as numbers. Then how to represent characters? So for character, codes are given. Character codes are given. So let us see what are the codes. The codes are called as ASCII codes or ASCII codes, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So for every alphabet or every letter in English language as well as the special symbols, there is a code given. So what are those codes? Capital A is represented as 65, number B. and then B is represented as 66. So a number is used for representing character. Now, if you see this is the number 65. If you say no, that is a character, means it is A. So only on the screen the printing will be done as A, but inside the memory it is 65. It's in binary form. That's how the codes are used for representing characters. Capital Z will be 90 and small a is 97 and small b is 98 and goes on. Small z is 122 and 0, letter 0 on the keyboard, if you see, that is also a symbol, character, but we treat it as a number, we use them as number, but everything on the keyboard is a character. So 0 is also character. So for that symbol 0, this is 48 and 1 is 49 and goes on. Last digit 9 is 57. These are the codes. Now one important thing, you must remember these codes. You must remember, this is very important. You have to remember this range, you have to remember this range, and you should remember these codes. This is very important. Alright. Then for other special symbols also codes are available. So you can learn about them. You search in Google, you will find out all the list of characters and their codes available. Search for ASCII codes. Now a little more about data types. I will talk about modifiers. Let us discuss about modifiers. There are two modifiers. Using these modifiers, you can modify these data types as per your requirement. So quickly let us look at this. There are two identifiers. One is unsigned and another one is long. So you can say unsigned integer. Now this integer, which is taking both negative as well as positive, now it will take only positive. So what are the range? 0 to 65535. This will be the range. Double this one, 32,000, you double it, it is 65,000. So 65535 is the range. 0 to 65535 means a signed bit is not there. All 16 bits are used for storing a number. Integer become unsigned. So if you don't have any negative numbers and you want to get a bigger range, you have a larger value, then you can go for this. Then you can also say unsigned char. So when you say unsigned character, this range will get double, that is you can store the number 0 to 255. So you can store the numbers also. Now if suppose in a character you have your numbers are very small, instead of storing alphabets you can store number also in a character. So its range becomes this. So unsigned can be used only with integer and character, you cannot use it with any other. Next one is long. Long you can use it with integer. So if integer is taking 2 bytes, then long int will take 4 bytes. And if suppose integer is taking 4 bytes, long int will take 8 bytes, depending on the compiler. Already I told you about integer. Now long can also be taken with double. Long double takes 10 bytes. See, float is for decimal number. And if this range is not sufficient, this is a small number, minus 38, that is plus 38, it's small number. If you want a larger number, then you can take double. So it is minus 308, it's bigger one. Means this is a very small value and that is very big value, 308, bigger number. If you want still larger, then you can take long double, right? Long float is no meaning because long float itself is double. Then long double you can take. So it will not be 16 byte, it will be 10 byte. So that's all about modifiers. Modifiers, you can use them with limited data types. You cannot use unsigned with everything and you cannot use long with everything. You cannot have long char. So that's all about the data types. See, at the end of this course, you will find one section called miscellaneous. There I have discussed little more about the data types. So if you're not a beginner, then I suggest you watch that. Or if you're a beginner, after completing the course, you watch that section. In that section, some topics are discussed in more detail. So for the beginners, it will be very difficult for them to grasp it. So I have kept them as miscellaneous topic. So I suggest you watch those videos if you want more details about the data types. So there are videos for other topics also under miscellaneous section. Now next we will see Variables. What are variables? Don't miss this video. So in the next video, I will discuss about variables.